Welcome to Sports Quake. Today, we're going to be looking back in 2013 Super Bowl 47, the famous Harbaugh versus Harbaugh game, Ravens 49ers. That also has something that is looked at as somewhat of a conspiracy theory in the NFL. The Ravens came back from halftime and they instantly returned the kickoff, taking a 28-6 lead. Shortly after that, the lights in the stadium just went out. Played stopped for 34 minutes. I'm going to share with you some of that moment via NFL Mic'd Up right now.
Arthur Jones. Why is the clock stop?
All of the lights on the 49ers side of the Superdome are out. You can only imagine the scramble officials are going through. This has lapsed into the surreal.
They're working on it now. They should have it up in 15 minutes.
The main complaint right now is the phones, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, but their headsets are out. And they're trying to make ours be out, too.
First of all, I don't think it's going to be an issue because the lights are going to come back on, their phones are going to come back on. But if the phones don't come on, because one side phones go off in the regular season, you don't shut the other side off. So we're the visiting team. Our phones are intact. We should be able to keep our phones. It should go to Roger to make a decision. That's our argument. Hey, is your coach allowed to be in their huddle? Is he allowed to be in their huddle? Hey!
The reason for how the lights out is still up for debate. Instantly, people were like, oh, it was lightning, the weather. However, the weather got quickly ruled out. It was 66 and clear in New Orleans that night. And then people were like, oh, it just must be a power outage from the supplier. It's no big deal. It happens. It happens. Then, right soon after that, officials from Entergy, which is the utility company supplying power to the Superdome, said the outage occurred when sensing equipment detected an abnormality in the system. The game then came down to a one-score game after all this happened, by the way. Entergy also made a statement that the power was still being supplied to the dome and that the outage was on the customer side of things. Pretty much saying, it's not our fault, it's their fault. So something at the Superdome went wrong. Something there is what caused the outage, not at the energy suppliers. The game was out of reach at this point, though. Before the power went out, it was 28-6. Third quarter, about 13:30 left in the game. After the outage, the 49ers are able to march back, score. I think it was 13 points in very short time period, like in 4 minutes. They failed their second 2-point conversion. That would have made it 15 points. But came out of a one-score game. It is not the first time we have seen a power outage in a 49ers game. That's another thing. Energy saying it's not on them, it's on the dome. Not our fault, it's their fault. 49ers, 2011, 2 years before the Super Bowl, had a power outage twice in one game against the Steelers. It's one of two incidents where this has happened in the NFL. Both incidents are with the 49ers. First one against the Steelers in just a regular season game. This one coming against the Ravens in the Super Bowl. The NFL claims that it was a transformer exploding in the Super Bowl that caused the power outage. That's the same thing that happened in 2011 against the Steelers, and there is photo evidence of the exploded transformer and fans claiming that, yeah, there was an exploded transformer, but they had no evidence on it in the Super Bowl. In that big of an event, there's bound to be something that's like, yeah, I heard this or saw this, but there was no evidence of a transformer outside of the stadium exploding like what happened in 2011 and what they claimed happened. In my opinion, I do not agree with the conspiracy theory. I do not think the power outage was an intentional thing. I believe that was caused mainly by the high power lights during Beyonce's halftime show, turning on and off and on and off because it was a very light intensive halftime show, and this was shortly after that. And I think the circuit got overloaded. But who knows? Vegas had the 49ers as a 4.5 favorite, and the NFL is a very money-hungry, dependent organization. the power outage allowed NBC to run more advertisements as well as plug some ads in for their own show, which is very ironic. The show, which is called Revolution, I've not really heard of it. I kind of remember hearing about it around this time, but it was set in a world without electricity, which made this very ironic. And they have actually, NBC has not made any, like, people accuse them of, hey, they're just trying to plug their show Revolution. And Revolution just tweeted about how interesting how the power went out. This is what our show's kind of about. They didn't ever say that they were not behind it, even though they were accused of it kind of jokingly. So, although the power outage was most likely caused by an accident, there is, I'd say, I give about a 40% chance that it was done to turn the boring blood of a Super Bowl into a competitive matchup that came down to a final drive by the 49ers where Colin Kaepernick threw 3 straight incompletions and turned the ball over on downs. That is all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe.